up here on my Periscope. So Dan and Shannon, why don't you each take 30 seconds or so and tell people good morning. Curtis, get them on the thing.
I'm having trouble hearing you. What was that?
She said,
why don't you and Dan each take 30 seconds or so, tell people good morning, what's on your heart in the prayer room this morning. And Curtis, you go ahead and start. We're going to just record. I'll say good morning, and then I've got to go do something. I'll be back in 1 minute. But y'all have to talk for 1 minute. That's the point.
okay, you're on first. Tell us about yourself, Shannon.
I'm Shannon Davidson. Moved to IHOP, a community about 4 months ago. I have an assignment to build musical instruments for the kingdom. So I'm in the process of getting that established. Good morning.
How are y'all doing?
Good. And
We're currently live with the group. Hi, I'm Dan Lee. This morning in the prayer room, we just really could feel the heart of the Lord for people in the marketplace. It's a growing desire to see God's people shine brightly in the marketplace and change lives. We have a couple more folks that just arrived, so we'll let you guys just say a little bit about you and anything in your life this morning.
Sure. I'm Scott Stanger. I'm here in Kansas City. Just recently moved back to Kansas City and certainly have a heart, a calling in the marketplace. Love to pour into people and see them connect with God and their purpose, and see discipleship and the kingdom advanced. And in the midst of the workplace where life definitely naturally intersects, unlike church where we come in kind of dressed up in our Christian costumes and using our Christian language, but out in the workplace it's very, very real. We get to see the realness of people and the realness of God.
Hey, my name is Alex Vaughn, and I'm a Kansas City, Missouri firefighter. Been a firefighter for 27 years here in Kansas City, and yeah, I'm kind of sometimes consider myself a guerrilla warrior in the place where I work because of the nature of the job that I do and the nature of the personalities and spiritual atmosphere that I work in. So, yeah, I definitely I'm one of those guys that wants to fulfill the calling of God the Father, where I am, wherever I am. So,
Awesome. Welcome, Alex.
Hey, Linda, are you on Periscope right now?
No, my connection is evidently not going to support Periscope.
Okay.
So we're going to press on here with the Zoom call. All right, everybody. Well, let's get started. I want to welcome everyone to the Monday morning Kickstart call. Every Monday, we do need a bit of a kickstart. Amen. And so that might be a little coffee. That might be some prayer in the prayer room. That might be getting on a call just like this where we connect with other people in the marketplace who understand they have a divine assignment that they're working out, and that they want to make sure they're plugged in to God's higher purposes. So we'll play on words there. We even have people in higher grounds joining us at the coffee shop by that very title. And that's really what we're all seeking to do, is operate on a higher plane, operate on higher ground, because we know we have a divine calling in our workplace. We've heard from Keith, who's an RN in the professional world of nurse education, has textbooks he's written that are being used in schools with nursing. Heard from Alex, a fireman. And Alex, you and I haven't gotten acquainted yet, but I love firemen because I was in a real fire as a young girl. That's been a defining part of my story. So we'll have to talk more about that another time. But what we do all have in common is this knowing that God has invited us to bring his presence in the world. God has invited us to bring his presence in our work, and that is no easy task. And we can get all excited about it after a conference or after an exciting event occurs. And then when we get back into the trenches, it's easy to feel very alone in our work. And today I wanted to just give you a few things to think about how to remain steady in the small things. And the small things can be reduced maybe to a short list. So they may be a small list. They may seem like little things, but they have profound, lasting effect. And so I just want to use this time this morning to encourage you to, number one, define what those profound.
Hey, Linda, this is Curtis. We can't hardly hear you. When Keith spoke, he was booming and really loud and very crisp. Can you up the volume, going on to your lower left, and hit the volume? You see the little microphone, and make sure that slider is all the way over to the right for your volume control. If you could do that, that'd be much obliged.
Okay. I could tell I wasn't getting much reaction there. Right. Let's see here. Is that any better at all? Curtis, is that better?
A little bit.
Okay. Well, this seems to be, I think Yvette's hearing it from her location, so I don't know what else it could be, but I don't seem to have anything else. Yeah, Keith is hearing. So the people out there are hearing on Zoom, Curtis. Can you turn anything up here?
Yeah, I'm fully pegged, so go ahead. You're all right.
Okay. All right. Scott, can you hear me? Not much. I don't hear him. I don't hear Scott. Okay, well, I'm going to press on. What we're here to talk about, I'm going to tell you to be steady in the small things. Now, I want you to think for a perspective about the biblical story of Daniel. This is a story a lot of marketplace people refer to. How important it was that Daniel prayed. He prayed every day. He prayed consistently. He prayed with friends. He knew one of his simple, profound things he had to do all the time was to pray. And so that's something that we talk about regularly. It's something we do as a group on Mondays, something we do in our individual lives. So that's one of those small, profound things you need to do every day. Another thing that you need to do every day is connect with people who feed into your vision. You need to think, who is it that knows what I'm about, who's also doing something that inspires me that I can connect to? Because you need people who will feed your vision that you're aligning with. And then you also need someone that you can reach down to or across to and pull along with you. So I'd like for you to kind of think about that on 3 dimensions: reaching up to the Lord in prayer, reaching up a bit to somebody that can help you in your profession and your vision, and then reaching across or even down to someone that you can bring along or someone that you can encourage. And that's just a simple metric of 3 strata of people, or connections, you might say, that are profound and that are simple, but that you need to actually do every day. Now, we do those, I think, randomly. We do those when opportunities come along, but I'm going to encourage you to actually make that a regimen every day, to reach out to God, reach out to someone whose vision is aligned with yours, who can boost your confidence and your vision, and then reach across or down to someone that you can help. So it's really 3 reaches. Now, we're going to take it from there, and I'm going to ask you to think about doing it in every kind of situation. Right now, I'm on the road, so I'm traveling, I'm in Texas, and I'm doing these things from on the road. And there are times it's comfortable to do it because you're in your environment or because you're where you're going to run into these people. But I'm going to say, let's take it another step out and accept responsibility to do this in every situation, whether you're in your comfortable home surroundings, whether you're traveling on the road, whether you are in hostile or uncomfortable surroundings. Sometimes we find ourselves in a difficult place. And I'm going to say that's no excuse not to do these types of simple, profound activities. Sometimes we find ourselves in a hostile environment in our sphere of influence. Sometimes we find ourselves in a country that is not friendly to Christianity. Sometimes we find ourselves in a work situation that is difficult at best. Sometimes we find ourselves looking for work. So all of these things are places, or these are all places where we find ourselves. And I'm going to say, no matter where you find yourself, commit to be steady in the small things of reaching up to God every day, reaching up to someone who can help you and feed your vision every day, and reaching across or down to someone that you can encourage or bring along every day. Now, Daniel did this in a hostile environment. He reached up to God and prayed regularly. And in his own way, as God led him, he reached up to his superiors, even though they were not Christians, but they had needs he could feel needs he could fill with his prophetic giftings, and it ended up promoting him to the highest position in the land. So in fact, he was reaching up to people that were above him. And then, of course, he had his buddies, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that he was reaching out to in what you might call a lateral move. And he continued to find his identity in God by doing these things, even in extremely difficult and life-threatening situations. So his kingship, the things that God revealed to him about end times, the way his journey evolved is a beautiful picture that encourages us to stay steady in the small things. So I'm going to ask Curtis to take us to a web page I'm going to invite all of you to go to, because today I'm not just talking about this, I'm doing it, and I'm inviting you to do it in a very real and practical way by joining us at the Moving Forward Conference, which is going to be the first weekend in March. And Curtis, if you can share your screen, we're going to show people where to go for this. Maybe make this a little larger if you can. It's March 4th through 6th, Moving Forward. And in this weekend, I'm going to take people through a very interactive workshop experience to help people sharpen their vision for a significant impact. Wherever you find yourself in your life and career, this is what it's about. Now scroll on down, if you would, Curtis, to some of the event details. This weekend is going to include some networking time with those who come. This is going to include some guided worksheets you're going to complete in the atmosphere of the Global Prayer Room, which we're so blessed to be right in the middle of a global prayer room. Take some things that we're working on in our lives that God's breathing on, and we're going to take time to pray about those in the atmosphere of the Global Prayer Room and seek God for direction. We'll have a reception on on Friday, where we get to visit with each other. We have a lunch included on Saturday where we'll have a working lunch. We're going to talk about our mantle of leadership, our mandates for impact. We have some meals together, some time to go off and eat together. And in the red print, you're going to look at some bonus items. In fact, I'm highlighting this today because registration officially opened today. And we have a $50 discount for people who register by February 19th. Just use the code that you'll find here. And then for early registration, we have 2 or 3 things that will be bonus items you see listed under the print in red. So this registration is officially open today. We want to throw open wide the doors and invite people to consider, if this is your season, to move forward together and stand your plan up with some time together in this concentrated weekend. So Curtis, thank you for that. And that website is 7mpact.org, 7m-pact.org /moving forward. So that's great, Curtis. We want to appreciate you showing that. I want to invite people to prayerfully consider that time. I have watched people time and time again who have an idea of what God's doing with their life, have some general idea. They're working on it, and they've seen some progress, but somewhere along the way get a little siloed. Oftentimes it's when there's a career change or a season of life change. Oftentimes it's after just a season of plowing and not quite seeing the effect that you had hoped for. How many of you know we're going to experience some delay? I don't know a destiny that doesn't go through contending. Destiny requires contending. And so to find a community where you can take it to God together and work through these things is a very life-giving experience. We've had many stories of folks who have come from all walks of life and from different seasons in their career who say, you know, I came alive at Moving Forward because I found out more about my core vision and who I am that's expressed wherever God has me. And there's such security in that because we begin to learn where our core identity is in God and how to carry that in every season of life and every opportunity for expression. So I just want to close with prayer today, and I think Dan is going to lead a discussion there at High Grounds around the table about these kinds of things. I'd love to have any of your questions or comments. I'm sorry everyone's not able to hear real great today, but we'll just pray the seed of the message got out and that God will water it and will bless you. So Lord bless you, and we will see you next Monday on the Monday Morning Kickstart Call.